esoteric inner versus exoteric outer. So what do I mean by esoteric and exoteric? Now, first of all, when people hear those two words, they usually think that it relates to religion. And in a lot of aspects, yeah, it does relate to a religion. There's a lot of esoteric beliefs that are involved with Christianity, Hinduism, Muslims, Buddhism, a lot of esoteric hidden meanings within the religious context. But, all that aside, because you're going to hear a lot of people talking about this with religion, and it'll be all of these huge beliefs, like they'll get into the Gnostic beliefs, which I personally believe is still going strong today. You'll see religious organizations that are involved with the APAC, it's one of the biggest political parties in the United States. Not really a party, but an organization. And it's between Israel and America, and they just pretty much run Washington, D.C. You have groups like the Gnostics, okay? And I don't really believe that there's a whole bunch of Gnostics running around trying to take over the world or anything like that, but I believe that a lot of their ideas are being introduced into other branches of belief, like for the UFO sightings and stuff like that, for example. I can see a lot of Gnostic beliefs being introduced into that, especially in ancient astronaut theories. You see people start out with the Sumerians, and then they'll work up to the Egyptians and the Sumerians, and then the next thing you know, they're trying to say that these Gnostic gods are on an astral level, and they're trying to, and it's fine. You can believe whatever you want. You believe all that, but to me, what that says to me is, especially considering that I actually did the research and I found out on my own what this stuff really was, it's getting away from the idea of seeing unidentified flying objects and reports of abductions and things of that nature to, putting a belief system into place for aliens and UFOs, and that's where it gets a little too out of proportion. Now, I have no problems with the idea that we were genetically modified or created by, alien life forms. Okay, that could be plausible in my way of thinking, but when you start pushing a Gnostic or esoteric belief system on me using UFOs and aliens in order to do that, I'm not going to be a fool, So in that aspect, I can see a lot of esoteric beliefs going on. Now, with religion, what we have also, besides these groups of people that are now doing the UFOs and everything, and then you have religious groups that are affiliated with government organizations, but you also have to look at secret societies. Now, like with the Gnostics, I'm not going to say that that these secret societies, like the Masons and groups like that, are the Rosicrucians. I don't believe that all of these people are secretly trying to take over the world, just like with the Gnostics. But I do want to say, that they created the basis for the organizations that are esoteric that we have today. There's a reason why the United States decided that they needed the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, which, in all of accounts, they really haven't done anything that is really positive when it comes to the American people. They've spent majority of their existence covering up a lot of the things that they did wrong. It's not about finding out things that are dangerous to the United States. It's more or less covering their own hides after they've done stuff that was illegal here in the United States. And we have organizations like that are set up. We've got the military complex, which is true. And you have Area 51. Now, that, you take UFOs and all the conspiracies out of the equation. The fact that we have a military installation sitting out in the desert with that much security, that on its own is something that you need to take into question. You need to ask yourself, why do we have that? Why do we have Mount Hood? Why do we have, all these other underground dumps, deep underground military bases? They're everywhere. Now, this is all esoteric, and that all stemmed from these secret societies and that way of thinking. We live in a world now where people are trying to say that we want to be more transparent, but the more they try to prove that they're being transparent, the more esoteric they are, So that is something that I also, have been finding out for myself, and I try to look at it at a neutral point of view, and I hope that, people would someday have the common sense to do that themselves, because it's very important. And it's like I said, with the alphabet organizations within the government, you have AIPAC, you have the American Turkish organizations, that are working between America and Turkey, and they have billions and billions of dollars going in and out, and all they do is buy and sell weapons. You look at the illegal transfer of nuclear energy and stuff like that, and weapons, and the parts needed to create a bomb that were shipped through Turkey into Pakistan. You look at how Israel ended up having well over 200 nuclear bombs sitting in their country, and Vanunu was put in prison and held as a prisoner pretty much for his entire life, because he came out and told the world, look, these people are sitting on a bomb. These are esoteric organizations that have been running underneath the radar and getting away with a lot of things for a lot of years. So that's another thing that I also wanted to mention. Then you have the corrupt media, both the news and the entertainment. I'd love to say that I'm just talking about the news and everything, but that's not the fact, And with today and everything that's going on, you can't look at this stuff and tell me that it's not corrupt, When, I agree 100% with the concept of the Me Too movement. If a woman is sexually harassed or raped or anything like that, they need to come out and let people know that this stuff is happening. There's nothing right about that going on and people getting away with doing it. But when you take a look at all these women in Hollywood, Hollywood entertainers, who are standing up and saying, I was sexually harassed, you have to ask yourself, out of all these people that have done this, how many lawsuits have been brought up against the people they're accusing? How many criminal cases have been brought up? So far, I know of Bill Cosby. He got in trouble and he ended up getting prison time. There's a governor, I believe, that ended up getting in trouble, I believe, or a senator or something. And I know of maybe 4 cases out of everything in the last 2 years that's been brought up that has actually had lawsuits or prosecution. Weinstein too. So that's 3 there, and I'm sure there's another one somewhere, if I think. But other than that, nobody has gotten in trouble for it. Alright? Now, it's, like I said before, it just looks 2-staged. And when you look at Hollywood's past, okay, you take a look at it, and everybody's known about the audition. Everybody understands about the casting couch. It's been going on for years. These women, 9 times out of 10, they went along with it because they wanted the fame. Alright? They benefited from it. I hate being the guy who says that, but it's the truth, okay? And now, they come out and they say that, oh, I've done this, and everybody's acting like it's such a big shock. And it's not a big shock. It's been known for years. And for me, what really gets my heart about it is this stuff has been known for years. And you take a look at child actors, alright? Child actors were being molested by people in Hollywood since the 90s, and it's been documented. Okay, Corey Haim killed himself because of it, and Corey Feldman has been going nationwide speaking up against what had happened to his friend, and nobody wants to listen. Okay, the redhead, I forgot her name, but she was on The View, or she's on The View. She literally started bad-mouthing and talking bad to Corey Haim or Feldman, because he was bringing this stuff up. There's a lot of people who want to look the other way and pretend like that's not happening when it really is, and it was discovered back in the 90s and the early 2000s. These people were taking male actors who weren't famous, and they were taking snapshots of them and putting them on the internet so that pedophiles could look at their pictures, okay? And this is a known fact, alright? But it never got any kind of publicity. The person that was responsible for that ended up taking off to Europe, and he lived, and he probably still lives in Europe, and he's never been prosecuted for his crimes, alright? And this has gone on for decades, and nobody wants to talk about it. But we need to talk about the Me Too movement and all these Hollywood actresses being sexually harassed. That, to me, is disgusting. And it's something that I did want to bring up about it. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because it comes down to agendas, okay? It comes down to what do these people really care about. When you have people in Hollywood who's funneled billions of dollars, or millions of dollars I should say, into Hillary Clinton's campaign, and Hillary Clinton loses the election, they're going to get mad. And when they get mad, they're going to strike out, and they're going to start retaliating. Now, they want to force feed their ideologies down your throat, okay? If you disagree with homosexuality and you say that you're against homosexuality, you're wrong, and you're scorned for it.